Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Hello, friends. We are back. I should have adjusted my camera before I hit go live, but too bad I did it anyway. Anyway, welcome back to day one, the afternoon stream for New Hampshire versus Dustin Duren, which the morning was interesting. But before we get into that, hello, welcome back. Hope you all had a nice lunch break. For those of you that went and watched Midday Missing, I know we really appreciate it when you guys stick around for that show and we bring you back. We do our best. Um, so I hope that was a good show. I didn't get a chance to listen in because I had to do some things, but I also brought snacks because it is snack time. And so I have my usual pretzels. And then, of course, my nerd gummies, which I have not eaten in weeks. You guys would be so proud. But I have those ready to go. I got a Red Bull here because I haven't been up this early in a couple of weeks. So feeling kind of a little rough already. Hello, Angie. Welcome back. Oh, you guys made it through the portal. Good. I am glad that they worked today. So, yes, you guys, if you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It lets everyone know that we're live again, that this is where all the good stuff is going to be happening today, and that they should join us because I think we have a good time over here. Oh, look at that. Pam has a question. How long have all these lovely ladies been doing this channel? I only found it about a month ago when scrolling. Oh, well, thanks for asking. Well, the YouTube channel, I think, has been around for 2 years. The True Crime and Wine Time podcast, Terry started in 2019. So that one's been going a long time. I came on about a year ago as a producer. And then this year is when I started really getting in front of the camera, which is still shocking to me. And then the first trial I covered on this channel was the Karen Reed trial. But I've been a trial watcher for many years. As a matter of fact, me and all the mods, we all met in YouTube chats just like this, watching trials together. So we've been together now for, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years, something crazy like that. So yeah, that's what we do here. I'm glad you like it. Um, oh, you like the True Crime and Wine Time? Good. I'm glad. I love to hear that. We work really hard over here on all of our shows. If you guys only knew what our to-do lists are like, it's kind of crazy. Um, so yeah, hello, welcome back, Tracy. Love seeing your face again. New people, I hope you're having a good time with our chat and all of that. We love new people when they come in. Pam says, confession, I've been listening on the rewatch crew if I miss at bedtime. Even though it is crime content, Llama is easy to listen to at that time. The number of people who tell me that they fall asleep listening to my voice is a lot, way more than I would have thought. So I take that as a compliment, I guess. Lots of practice with my friends on Discord of spending hours talking to them and everybody falling asleep when we're we're in a voice chat. Um, so hello, Michael. Michael's all caught up now, ready for the Subaru driving Marine. That's a first for me. Well, good, Michael. I'm glad you can join us from the second half. That's right, Pam. Snacks. Everybody get their snacks. I love snacks. Lainey. Hey, Lainey. How you doing, babes? Hope you're doing well. I know you were deep in another loss. Oh, what was that? I don't know. Amos is behind the scenes playing tricks on me, working on stuff. I love that. Savage says, "Whoa, he drives a Subaru. Subarus are good cars. If I got a new car, it'd probably be a Subaru. I enjoy them." Every time you hit a like, a llama earns its gavel, right? And look how shiny my gavel is. It's bedazzled and everything. Thanks to the lovely Terry True Crime who did this for me. Isn't she sweet? That's right. We fancy it up around here. We're kind of professionals. We are all besties, aren't we, Kelly P? I know you guys are the best. I love hanging out with you guys all the time, whether we're on screen or in Discord or, doing whatever. We follow each other around and I love it. Savage says that seals it. He's guilty already. Oh, that's your line. Oh goodness. I guess good thing you guys don't commit a crime and have a Subaru because Savage is like guilty, straight to jail, right away. Oh, I love that. There's Terry True Crime. Hope you're doing good. What? Yes, another Jeep and another lost marathon. It happens to all of us. We got to go back. Oh, that scared you guys? Typical Amos. Typical. She always says, I'm the one that scares everybody. Laney's like, I have a 2000 LL Bean Outback. I didn't even know LL Bean made cars. So that's an interesting. Wow. The more you know. Do 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 do. I think we have that somewhere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Subarus are coming after you, Savage. P. Lola's mom, welcome back. Welcome back. You know what? So I read speaking of you, P. Lola's mom, because I know you have this problem, and this is not pressure, I promise, to sign up to be a member. But you know how we always had those problems with you because you were an Apple user? Apparently, YouTube figured it out after numerous years of people complaining. And now it should be easier for iPhone members or iPhone users to become members of YouTube channels. So, um, I don't know. You might want to try that out. I don't know. I didn't have an Apple device to like try it out. That's just what they said because we got, when YouTube does something new, they send us, this is what's new. And I immediately thought of you and I was like, oh, please let this work because what a freaking headache they made it. So, again, no pressure at all. There should be a join button next to our channel. Honestly, I didn't look that much into it. I should have before I said something, huh? It should just be you're on our channel and there's the option to join. That's how it is for everyone else. But if it's not, I'm sorry. Blame YouTube. Blame them. I don't know how they do things. Um, yes, you can hit the join button and become a member. You poor Lola's mom is old and needs directions. You're not that old. Get out of here. You're young at heart, right? That's what really matters. Yeah, if you go to our page, it should even just be usually like I know on my phone. If oh look, it worked. Oh look at you. Well, thank you, P. Lola's mom, for becoming a member. I know you've been trying for months, and I'm so happy it just worked for you. Yeah, look at you in green. Green looks good on you, babes. Green looks good on you. So yeah, we worked it out. Look at that. Woo! Yay for all the iPhone users. Like literally people have been complaining about that for like 3 years. And YouTube just finally was like, oh, we worked that out. Finally. Get it together. Yay. YouTube did something right. I know, right? We're thankful, YouTube gods. All right. We're not trying to be blasphemous over here. But yeah, you get to enjoy all sorts of perks as being a member. All of our new shows that we've been doing for members only. I just wrapped up finishing the Devil in the Bay series, recording that I think last week or the week before. And that is going to be available to the public in December. I'm very excited about that releasing. It's more of a serious storytelling narrative of the murder of the Rogers family and Oba Chandler. Anyway, it's very fascinating. It's a case that I've been following for many years and kind of local, but not. But anyway, I just wrapped up that, and those will be released during our winter break for everyone to see. And I'm so excited about that. Can't believe now we got lots of videos to edit for the team. The lovely Buffy's already done too. And let me tell you what, whew, she did a fantastic job. It looks very professional. Very professional. So I'm very excited about that. Yes, that as well. Dearest Mothers, Terry is going to start recording them for, I don't remember which group of members in Higher, but she is. Last year or earlier this year, at some point in the last year, she did a show, Dearest Mother's Darkest Secrets, which is about mothers who kill their children. It is kind of depressing, but also very good. So she's going to be recording all of those and then doing like I did with in the Bay and releasing them in March of April of next year. So members kind of get in on ground stuff ahead of time. So lots of fun things over there. Um, this keeps you occupied with while dealing with smearing bagels. Well, I'm glad to keep y'all company at work. Still trying to figure out why Chat TV seems to be restreaming what we already heard, but where's my drink? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, if they can fix the mods so we can be members with modding. I know, right? Baby steps. Baby steps. Ew. What, Michael? Brock, the rapist Turner, is living in Ohio using his middle name, Alan. If you don't know who Brock Turner is, I suggest you do a Google and see why we call him what we do. It is a case that will piss you off. It will piss you off when somebody being affluent gets away with things, because he was so young and he didn't, and I believe it was the judge didn't want to ruin his whole future life for raping a girl. So, oh yeah, I know which Brock that is. I have strong opinions about Brock Allen Turner, who now apparently is in Ohio. So, yeah, that's one that'll really get you and make you mad. But anyway, we were saying, we had a lovely dinner, and all I said was the halibut was good enough for Joe. Blasphemy, blasphemy. Oh my goodness. A great new neighbor. Yeah. Was he like going to school here or something? God, I hope not. I doubt it. Screw that guy. I don't like him. Anyway, so for any of you that may have missed the earlier morning stream, we are covering a new case, New Hampshire versus Dustin Duren. We had opening statements this morning, which, wow. The prosecution, I wouldn't say it was like an amazing opening statement, but what they said, like performance wise, but what they were saying was very gripping. Okay, so Dustin is charged with second-degree murder, reckless endangerment with a gun, I believe it is, and child endangerment. And him and the mother of his children, I don't believe they are married, they have different names, have two girls together. Now, they're originally from Minnesota, and that's where they were staying. Caitlyn, the mother, was living with a friend. Dustin was living with his parents. And they would exchange the girls, I guess, all the time. No big deal, right? Well, for some reason, and we say for some reason because we don't know yet. Most of us, we don't have a lot of details on this story. So we're just going by what they've said or what's being testified to. But according to the defense, Caitlyn and Dustin agreed that they were going to move from Minnesota to New Hampshire and live separate lives, but raise the girls. Okay. So Dustin says, well, I'm going to go out there first. This is according to the defense in their story. He's like, well, I'm going to go to New Hampshire first. I'm going to take our oldest daughter, the 4-year-old, with me, which is very confusing because I don't see why you would bring a small child out there regardless if you're trying to set up a life for everyone else to come, because 4-year-olds require a lot of attention. Then he's going by himself. You'd have to do daycare, all sorts of things. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Dustin Duren has a YouTube channel. What? Oh my goodness. Well, it's still up. It's just not active. Well, he's not posting recently. I wonder why. He plays music. Interesting. I know. I totally thought Duran when I saw his last name because that's how I wanted to spell it constantly. And I was like, no, it's an E, Llama. It's an E. Anyway, so Dustin goes out to New Hampshire with their oldest daughter, Elowen, who's 4. And he says that was the plan, that Caitlyn was fine with it, but we all think that's kind of weird, right? I don't know of anyone who's like, yes, please take my very small child and move across the country. That leads us to believe that they probably didn't have like a legal custody agreement. Anyway, so he ends up buying like a plane ticket. I think he bought it, not her, not Aunt Brenda, who, by the way, Aunt Brenda isn't even on the witness list. I'm a little annoyed about that. At least I didn't see her on there. Um, anyway, so Caitlyn flies out with her other daughter, Valen, all right, who's 1. They fly to New Hampshire. She goes and stays with her aunt. Oh shit. You know what? I pause. My apologies. Oh, good. We haven't missed anything. Sorry. See, it's still a seal. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. I gotta redo this so it doesn't take up my whole screen. Sorry, guys. All right, so she goes out to um, New Hampshire with the little girl, flies out there, right? She spends time with her aunt. Then they go and she meets up with Dustin. All right, remember he has the other little girl. Her and Dustin and the 2 girls all stay the night at his house. He gets all like weirded out that sorry, I'm trying to do like 2 things at once and I'm not the best at that. So then he is like, oh, she's like texting somebody and I didn't know who it was. And that was suspicious to me. Right. So then they're supposed to be leaving Dustin's house. And when we do, I click that. Gosh, get it together. Um, so they're apparently getting ready to leave Dustin's house to take um Caitlyn back to her aunt. He's under the impression for some reason both girls are staying with him. And it seems like Caitlyn wasn't having that. As a matter of fact, Caitlyn, the little one, the 1-year-old, is strapped in her car seat. Caitlyn is holding the 4-year-old, Ellen. Sorry, I can't say her name right, right? And excuse me, as she's holding Ellen, because she's like holding her, really close, she's not wanting to let go of her. Dustin goes to his desk, which we don't know how far it is because we can't see anything because the TV faces away from us. Don't get us started on the court setup, but whatever. We're watching it. I guess we'll be grateful for that. Anyway, so he goes over to this desk, gets his gun, okay, goes back over to Caitlyn, right? Grabs Elowen, the 4-year-old, off of the mom, is holding her like this, and decides that he's going to shoot Caitlyn in the head, just one shot. All right, kills her. And he's saying it's self-defense. He says, well, I did it because she was trying to kidnap the children, which again, you can't even, she didn't have a car or anything. What was she going to do? Kidnap the children on foot? Like, it's preposterous. So he's claiming self-defense. Oh man, it's not really looking good for that side if you ask me. Um, and so that's kind of where we are. The first witness we heard was an officer who arrived at the scene, a sergeant detective. He talked about how the apartment was locked. They had to break down the door and then they found Caitlyn. Um, then the next witness was Dustin's dad, who was a sheriff in Minnesota. But Dustin called his dad after the shooting, called his mother, I'm sorry, called his mom. Mom tells dad what Dustin did. Dustin's dad then calls the New Hampshire police and leads them to so that is where we kind of are. Oh, forgot Dustin was also a former Marine who allegedly has PTSD. And I say allegedly because we don't know if that was a diagnosis he already had or what. We'll need somebody to testify about that for sure. Or they just haven't said it yet. So that is where we are. Just heard an all rise. Jury is coming in. Let me turn the audio up because it is sometimes rough. So that is where we are. We do not know who's on the stand because they finished with the dad. I'm going to go with it's probably the mom since she got the phone call. So where did Duran get their name? Savage says Barbarella. I didn't know trivia was going on over here. Giving out awards. Oh, also, there's that annoying metronome sound. I do not like it. It's going to drive me crazy. So that's Dustin there in the black suit. I mean, if it is a clock, get a new clock. Oh my goodness. His suit's wrinkly. Oh my gosh.
For Amanda Johnson.
I wasn't sharing my screen. Oh my goodness. So pretty. There we go, friends. Don't worry, you didn't miss it. All right.
Trooper Johnson, if you could remain standing and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you swear today that the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalties of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Oh, she must be Amanda Johnson.
Can you please state and spell your full name for the record?
I'm Detective Amanda Johnson. Last name is spelled Johnsson.
And where or how are you currently employed?
I'm employed as a detective with the New Hampshire State Police.
And with the New Hampshire State Police, are you assigned to any particular troop, barracks, or section?
Yes, I'm in the major crime unit.
Okay. What is the major crime unit?
Our primary job is to investigate homicides. We handle all officer-involved shootings throughout the state, as well as conflict cases that may arise that other agencies can't investigate.
So if there's a problem with the agency investigating, say, one of their own, you would maybe take that case?
Yes.
Okay. So in this instance, as a person in the major crime unit, what is your role specifically inside of investigations?
I primarily do crime scene investigation.
And what does that mean?
I respond to the crime scenes and process them for evidence.
And do you have any kind of specialized training that allows you to do this type of job?
I attended the National Forensics Academy back in 2023, 10-week program investigating or helping to
kinda looks
investigate
like Jodie
forensics and
Foster.
things of that nature.
And how long have you been working with the New Hampshire State Police?
I just started my 18th year this past August.
And for how long have you been specifically working on crime scene investigations?
I've been in the major crime unit since 2019.
Now, I want to draw your attention to February the 29th of 2024. Did there come a time that you became involved in an investigation into a homicide by shooting that had occurred at 1063 or 1063 Main Street in Berlin, New Hampshire?
Yes, I did. I believe that was an early morning call out.
Okay. Do you recall what time of day you received the call?
I think it was around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. When you say you received the call, were you working at the time?
No, I was off duty sleeping.
Okay. Can you describe for us how that call occurred?
I was called by Lieutenant John Sonia and advised that they had a homicide in the town of Berlin. He requested that I respond to the scene with the crime truck.
I mean,
And when you say, were you assigned to a specific role for that crime scene?
That particular call, I was the officer in charge as well as the evidence
at that.
technician, and I believe I took video that day.
Okay, and when you say you were the officer in charge, that sounds fancy. What does that mean?
It's just more paperwork. Basically, I delve out. We all kind of split the tasks, the required tasks, and at the end, it's just I'm compiling all of the reports basically into
Man.
one report.
And you said that you were asked to respond out with the crime scene truck.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what that is?
We have 2 crime scene trucks. They're basically mobile offices that hold our supplies and equipment.
That's money.
And when you received that call to respond out to Berlin, what information was provided to you about what you were walking into?
I knew that the suspect was at large, and they were primarily focusing on locating him as well as children.
Was that part of your responsibility with respect to this case?
No, I brought the truck to the scene where I stayed for a while they finished investigative aspects of the case and finally did receive a court-authorized search warrant.
Okay. So you spent some time waiting while other steps were taken before you were able to get into the house?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about your crime scene work. When you talk about working on a crime scene, can you describe for us sort of the methods or the steps that you use when you're documenting crime scenes?
Yes, like I said, we have various tasks that we have to complete there. We use a 3D scanner called a Faro that Faros the scene in 3D. One of us takes
Those are
a
very cool.
GoPro video and walks around the crime scene with the video. One person's assigned to photographs. Another person's assigned to cataloging and documenting evidence that we collect. And it's, when we finally get in there, it's slow going because we essentially process the scene in layers. We take what's visible without disturbing anything, and then we start, peeling back the layers and documenting it as we go.
So when you initially arrive at a scene, you take it as it is, correct?
Yes,
You take photographs and videos of that?
correct.
Okay. And then you said you started removing a layer.
Yes.
And when you remove each layer, what, if anything, do you do in terms of documentation?
What
So we
is it?
photograph along as we search, when we move things and when we, search through things. Like, for instance, if you opened a drawer, we would take a photo and search the contents of the drawer and then take another photo. So just things are done in layers.
Okay. So when you take photographs, are you just taking a photograph sort of the overall space, or are there different layers even of the photographs that you take?
Yeah, so overalls, far away and then mid-range and then close up is typically how we do the photographs.
Okay. Are photographs taken in terms of when you arrive at a scene that has a person or a victim inside of it? Do you take photographs with the victim there as well as with them removed from the scene?
Yes, we take photographs as we come to the scene and how we find the scene and the body.
You indicated that some troopers or officers are tasked with locating evidence. Are photographs taken of that evidence as well?
Yes, we work as a team. We decide what we're going to collect, and as we go, we photograph and document what we're collecting.
Why so many photographs?
You can never take too many photographs. I've only experienced situations where you wish you would have taken more, so I tell everyone to, take as many as you think you should, and then go further and take more.
Why so
Do you
many?
document every
Glad
scene
that
that
you
you
haven't even
respond
done
to
your
in the same
photographs
manner?
on yet.
Yes,
Was the crime scene at 1063 Main Street documented in this way by video, photograph, and Faro?
yes,
Were photographs taken with Miss Naffziger's body present,
yes,
and were photographs taken when her body was removed?
yes.
Now, I want to show you and place up on the screen State's Exhibit 3A, which is in evidence. It would help if I turn on this device. And I may need to ask you to step down if you're unable to see it, and I do apologize because you may spend quite some time hanging out over here by this screen,
Which one? True
if
Detective?
that's all right with the court.
Yes, so long as the jury can hear and so long as we have appropriate audio and so long as it doesn't obstruct defendants at all, certainly.
We don't get to see exhibits, friends. I'm sorry.
And then the court finish in that,
Please.
just in case.
Thank you, Angie, for stepping in for Savage. Thank you. I am on timeout. I'm just-
Now, Trooper Johnson, is this the location, State's Exhibit 3A, which is on the screen of 1603 Main Street?
Yes,
I'm sorry, 1063 Main Street.
yes,
And is this the location where you responded with the crime scene truck?
yes.
Can you describe what this building is for us?
This building is a apartment building. I was advised by the Berlin Police Department that there were 4 units total in that building.
By the time that you arrived on scene, had that dwelling already been cleared by the Berlin Police Department?
Yes, it had.
I'm not sure why the screen is flashing. It may have something to do with
Not
some
far.
interference we're receiving, but
Pillow is on, not
hopefully
far.
it'll stay on. So you indicated that it was a multi-unit dwelling, correct?
Yes.
Okay. With respect to the investigation that you were working, the call that you were there for, what areas of this building were of interest to you?
We were authorized to search Mr. Duren's apartment, which was the lower level apartment, the first floor.
I'm going to stop for a second. Just because it doesn't seem to be cutting out on any of the monitors, just that monitor. So maybe it's just a loose connection. I just didn't know if there's anything we can do.
You're getting some feedback on this, Your Honor, so I'm not certain if something's going wrong.
Oh, tech issues. You know what it is? It's probably the metronome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I'm blaming it on. Oh, there's so-so. I love the teamwork.
That seems to have worked. Thank you.
Fingers crossed. All right, so you started to say, and I apologize, you started to say that you were authorized to search certain locations in this building. What were those locations?
Mr. Duren's apartment, which is the lower first level of the building.
Did you also conduct any searches in the garage bay?
Yes, we did.
Speaking about that garage bay, can you see that on the screen?
Most of it, yes.
Okay. Was there a garage bay that you learned was assigned to that first floor apartment?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Was there a car located in that garage bay?
No.
Were there any cars inside of any of the garage bays when you were on scene?
Yes, there were other tenants that had vehicles there.
Were those cars checked?
I recall that one tenant needed to get to her vehicle, so we escorted her to get the car, and we just performed a quick search by consent just to make sure we weren't missing anything.
Okay. In terms of the garage space, were any items of evidentiary value or recovered from that location?
Not that I recall, no.
Now, did you take video of the exterior of this building?
Yes, I did.
Okay, can you explain for us how you did that?
Utilizing a GoPro camera, I walked around outside and then walked inside slowly, just getting all the rooms in that apartment.
And when you do that, you're just holding the GoPro camera in your hand,
Yes.
right? And are you talking, narrating? What can we expect that we would hear?
No, no talking.
Now, prior to this hearing, did you review, I should have actually stated review. Did you review some exhibits prior to coming in to testify?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you take a look at State's Exhibit 7A?
Yes, I did.
Is that a video clip that you took of the exterior of the building?
Yes.
Okay. Did you also review State's Exhibit 7B?
Yes.
Is that a clip of a video that you took from the interior of the building?
Yes.
Here at this time, the state would ask to have the ID struck and the pieces full. No objection.
The ID, excuse me, the ID may be stricken with respect to Exhibits 7A and 7B, and they may be considered as full exhibits.
Now, I'm going to move off of State's Exhibit 3A. On the screen now should be State's Exhibit 7A. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Permission to publish State 7A.
Yes.
And where this clip ends, what are we looking at?
That is the door, the entryway to a common area for the apartments. The white door.
And it goes into all of the apartments in this building, is that correct?
Yes,
Is there another entrance that just goes to apartment on the first floor?
yes,
Where is that located?
around the front of the house by the street.
Next, showing you State's Exhibit 3C, which is in evidence, just so that we can transition over. Is this the same photograph or a photograph that shows the back of that house?
Yes,
Okay. And that white door at the back, is that the one you've indicated goes to a common area?
yes.
Now, for the ease of this, Trooper Johnson, if I could ask you to step over towards me just really quickly. I can ask you to take a look through State's Exhibits 8A through 8T. I just need to separate them out so that we've got the right ones. I could have you just flip through these photographs for me. You can flip them in my direction as they're not, I think we have an agreement that they're coming into evidence, Your Honor.
Yeah, I wish we could see the evidence as well. That's kind of helpful, but. Anyone want to know who wrote the perfect country and western
As
song?
you're doing this, Trooper Johnson, do you recognize what you're looking at?
Is it Dolly? Is it
Can
Dolly
you tell us
Parton?
what they are?
Photographs of the apartment as well as the evidence that we collected.
Look who it is, everybody. It's Bells. Hey, Bells. Hey, babe. Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon. Oh, not Dolly or Waylon.
Do those photographs, as you look at them, fairly and accurately show the apartment as you observed it when you
I
responded
just
there?
did.
Yes, it does.
Okay, if I can ask you to step back over. If you need a break or any water, just let me know. I'm making you stand up quite a bit.
Please do, Anne.
Now, with respect to, and Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask to strike the ID as to State's Exhibits 8A through 8T and admit them into evidence. No objection.
The ID may be stricken with respect to 8A through 8T inclusive, and they may be considered full exhibits.
I need Zoe to hurry up and come back inside.
Trooper Johnson, I'm just showing you State's Exhibit 8A. This is just a close-up of the rear door to 1063 Main Street that we've just seen.
Yes,
And in this image, the door is ajar.
yes,
Okay, was it open like that when you responded?
yes.
Where does this door lead again?
To a small common area utilized by all the tenants to access their apartments.
Moving into State's Exhibit 8B, what are we looking at here?
That straight ahead door is where the scene was.
And the straight ahead door is the door to where?
Duren's apartment.
Okay, to the defendant, Mr. Duren's apartment?
Yes.
You can go ahead and have a seat. I'm gonna give you a break for just a second. You had indicated when you first began testifying that you had not immediately just jumped right in. You'd had to wait for quite some time.
Correct.
Okay. And why were you waiting?
Like I said, we were waiting for the investigators to try to figure out where the suspect was and locate the children, and then that shifted gears to writing a search warrant for the apartment.
Okay. Were you also waiting for somebody from the medical examiner's office?
Yes.
Did someone from the medical examiner's office arrive on scene?
Yes.
What, if anything, occurred once that happened?
When the medical examiner arrived on scene, she, under her authority, we went to the apartment to examine the body that was located in the living room.
And did you enter into the apartment to do that?
Yes.
Were you present personally with the ADME or the assistant or associate deputy medical examiner
Yes.
to examine the body?
Yes.
Can you describe when you observed Ms. Naffziger's body, how she was positioned?
She was sitting on the couch. Her right leg was up on the coffee table, and she had a blanket around her body.
Did you, as well as the assistant deputy medical examiner, observe any injuries to Ms. Naffziger?
We saw wounds that were consistent with a gunshot wound to the head.
Did you observe any weapons near Ms. Naffziger?
No.
Did she have any property near her besides the blanket that you just described?
She had a cell phone that was next to her on her right side on the couch.
At the time that you entered into the living room with the medical examiner's office, did you observe any evidence that was consistent with Ms. Naffziger having been shot in addition to her wound that you observed?
Yes. To my right of the couch, I noticed a fired cartridge casing on the floor next to the couch.
Can you tell us what a fired cartridge casing is? Can you explain that?
When a bullet's fired, the casing is what ejects from the pistol.
With respect to the first floor apartment, can you give us sort of an idea of what that apartment itself consisted of in terms of rooms? What was the layout?
Yes, it looked like there was 3 bedrooms, but they were using another room as like a 4th bedroom. 2 rooms were empty, utilized for what appeared to be storage. One of the rooms looked like a little girl's room, and then off of the living room, there was a room that looked like it was utilized as the master bedroom.
Oh, wow. That place is bigger than I thought it was. Nope, that's pretty much it, Tracy. Now, he took the child away from her when he shot her, but that is what she was doing.
Yes, this is the diagram of Mr. Duren's apartment.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the layout of the apartment as you observed it?
Yes,
And the locations of where items were inside of the living room?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to strike the ID and admit States 22 as full by agreement. No objection.
The ID may be stricken and Exhibit 22 may be considered a full exhibit.
Putting up on the screen States Exhibit number 22. I don't know if you can do it from there, and I'm going to do what I can to not have you just standing here for the entirety of your testimony. With respect to this exhibit as we look at it, can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where Ms. Naffziger was positioned? If you need to step down, please do.
She was, like I said, on the couch, and she had her right foot elevated on the coffee table.
And when she's sitting on the couch, is she towards the desk on the couch, or is she on the other side of the room in terms of where she is?
More consistent with where you have the casing marked on that side of the couch.
Okay, so I've just put up the red to show where Miss Naffziger was located. Is that where she was fairly and accurately?
Yes,
Okay. And then if I click again, for the jury to see, there's a casing that's marked there. Is that all consistent with where you observed the body of Miss Naffziger on the sofa or the couch,
yes,
and then where the casing was observed?
yes.
Sorry, being ridiculous right now.
After the assistant medical examiner examined the body of Miss Naffziger, what, if anything, occurred?
I believe that we left the body there so that we could farrow with the body in place, just because if I come to a scene and the body has not moved by first responders and it's located in the original spot, I like to document and preserve that. So I believe we farrowed that room and then we removed the body.
Okay. Pharaoh, did you also take photographs?
Yes,
And then the body was removed?
yes,
And was the scene still secured at that point pending the search warrant?
yes. The Berlin Police Department provided scene security that day.
What does it mean to provide or scene security or to secure a scene?
Usually we corded off with crime scene tape, and we'll have at least one or two cruisers standing by and making sure that no one unauthorized enters through the crime scene.
In fact, prior to having a search warrant, does anyone enter into it except to deal with the body?
No, just with the medical examiner.
Later that afternoon, around 1:40 p.m., did you receive authorization through a search and seizure warrant to enter into the home to conduct your examination of the scene?
Yes,
And at that point, is that when you started the process that you described to us before about photographing in layers?
yes.
I think I'm gonna have to ask you to step down again.
She looks so thrilled to be there.
Absolutely. Putting State's Exhibit 8C, which is in evidence on the screen, can you describe for us where we are or where this photograph was taken inside of the apartment?
That's as you walk in that entryway door in the rear.
And when you look at this, it's sort of a hallway, is that fair to say?
Yes,
Do you know where the doors on either side of that hallway lead?
those are the spare bedrooms that, like I said, it appeared to be utilized as storage.
And straight ahead,
Straight ahead leads into the kitchen.
if you continue to walk down that hallway and end up in the kitchen, what do you have on your right-hand side?
The right-hand side is the living room and master bedroom area.
And to the left?
That was the little girl's room.
Wish we could see it.
And I want to look first with you, if we can, at State's Exhibit 8D. Which room is this?
This is the spare bedroom to the right when you're walking down that hallway immediately upon entering the apartment.
And is this one of the rooms that you indicated was pretty much used as storage?
Yes.
Okay. Now, zooming in a little bit closer into State's Exhibit 8E, was evidence recovered or items recovered of interest in this case in the closet?
Yes.
Showing you State's Exhibit 8F, what are we seeing in this image?
ALJ2 looks like a box of ammunition, and ALJ3 looks like a holster, a gun holster.
Can you explain for us, so you're reading the yellow markers, is that fair to say?
Yes.
What do those yellow markers signify?
It's just how we document evidence that we're taking. Whoever's the evidence technician that day, we utilize our initials. I'm Amanda Lee Johnson, so ALJ, and as we go, we assign each piece of evidence a number.
Okay, do the numbers have any meaning about importance or anything like that?
No,
Okay, what do the numbers stand for?
it's just the number of the next item. So from there, the next item would be 4.
I want to go ahead and take a look with you at the items that you're looking at on that top shelf and the items that were marked. Looking first at States Exhibits 8G and 8H together on this slide. What is ALJ2 that you have marked?
A box of ammunition.
Looking next at States Exhibit 8I, which is in evidence, and your markers, I believe ALJ3, what are we looking at?
That's a shoulder holster with a magazine pouch.
When you say a magazine pouch, can you explain that for us?
You would put the magazines from a pistol in the pouch.
That was in a closet, they said?
Next, looking on one slide at States Exhibits 8J and 8K, what are we looking at in terms of ALJ3A?
So that's one of the magazines that was in the pouch, and that was the contents in the magazine, the ammunition.
So it was a loaded magazine.
Yes.
With respect to States Exhibits 8L and 8M together on this slide, ALJ3B, what are we looking at?
That was the other magazine in the pouch.
Okay, so both 3A and 3B came from the holster that was recovered?
Correct.
And with respect to this, was this also a loaded magazine?
Yes, with those bullets in it.
Were you able to determine the type of ammunition that this was?
Yes, I believe they're all 9mm.
Interesting. So he had a magazine
Now,
loaded.
once these items that
But
we
he
just
put in
looked
one
at
bullet
are
himself.
recovered and photographed on the scene, are they recovered?
Yes, we photograph them and we package them and secure them on the crime scene truck and later transfer it to the forensic lab.
Can you explain to us how they're packaged, what that process looks like?
We primarily use paper bags, but we put the item in a bag and we secure the bag with evidence tape so that it can't be tampered with and it's secured.
Magazine.
And do you sign those bags?
Stupid sound.
Yes, we initial
I love it.
along the seams to secure that chain of custody, essentially.
Now, in your search of the apartment, did you locate or recover a pistol or a handgun?
No.
Showing you next States Exhibit 8N coming back into the hallway of the apartment, can you kind of orient us back to where we are?
Yes, you're standing in the hallway and the door to the left was the other room, spare room that was utilized for storage.
With respect to the bedroom, which is the storage room, the first open door to the left in this photograph, was anything of evidentiary value marked and collected from there?
I don't recall from that room, no.
How about in the bathroom, the second open door on the left of the photo? Was there anything of evidentiary value marked or recovered?
Not that I recall.
Now I want to move further into the apartment, States Exhibit 8O. Can you orient us sort of here, and I know you've described sort of to the right and the left of the kitchen. Can you just let us know where we're looking here?
Yes, so the opening to the right is towards the living room, and then the left side by the cabinet, there's a door here that belonged to the little girl, a bedroom belonging to the little girl.
And the kitchen also continues off to the right, is that, or the left, I'm sorry, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Showing you States Exhibit 8P. What are we looking at here?
That's just the other side of the kitchen.
Did you search the trash can that's over there?
Yes.
Why?
We conduct a complete search when we process a scene to include trash cans.
Was when anything recovered from the trash can?
Yeah, I believe we recovered a receipt from the trash.
Showing you States Exhibit 8Q. Is that the receipt that you're discussing or saying that you recovered?
Yes.
Moving on to States Exhibit 8R.
What's it a receipt
with
for?
respect to this item, is that the receipt from the trash can?
Yes, it is.
Just want to ask you if you can read for us the highlighted portions of that.
Yes, it's a receipt from Harley Jack's Burgers and Brews in Ossipee, and it has a date of February 28th, 2024 at 4:46 p.m. The server's name was Christine K. The check number was number 14, and it says that it was ordered February 28th, 2024 at 4:46.
So 4:46 PM.
Correct.
Moving into State's Exhibit 8, S like Sam, can you describe where we're looking in this image?
You're standing in the kitchen looking into the living room.
So that doorway that's open there, that's the living room where Ms. Naffziger's body was found, is that fair to
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Now, earlier you had talked about the fact, and we had seen the video that you took of the outside of the house, right? And we watched that small clip. Did you take a similar video of the interior of this apartment?
Yes.
Can you describe for us what you did in taking that video in its entirety?
Like I said, you walk into the apartment and you walk through all the rooms at a slow pace, just trying to document what's in each room.
You open all the drawers, you look inside of everything.
Sometimes, like I said, we do it in layers, so you don't want to disturb too much. Normally, when we first get there, we want to document the scene as it is without manipulating it.
When you took the video of the interior of this house, had Ms. Naffziger's body already been removed?
No. Or it may have been. I know that we farrowed with the body in there. I may have taken the video after the body was removed. I'm not 100% positive on that.
Okay, so I'm going to move forward so that you can see State's Exhibit 8, T like Tom. At the time that this photo is Ms. Naffziger's body there?
She had been removed at that point.
Okay. Moving forward to State's Exhibit 7B, which is a clip from that video that is in evidence. Looking at this image here, was Ms. Naffziger's body present at the time of the video or removed?
She was removed at that time.
Okay, so we should not in this video expect that we will see her.
Correct.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Maybe it is. We don't even know. Oh, it's so weird. Okay, look straight at us. Did you see that? Yep, see. Hello, Mr. Attorney Man. I think they're playing a video right now of the walkthrough. Stupid, we don't get to see it. I mean, I just don't see why they don't put a TV right witness box there. There's all that room. There's nothing on the wall. Also, I noticed a lot of courts use ACS computers. They have like a contract with courts or something. Because they use this a lot.
Well, this clip stops there. Did you also walk into that master bedroom area?
Yes.
Okay, now, looking at this where it's stopped, there appears to be a door that we're seeing. What door is that?
It was almost like they were French doors or double doors that opened into what was utilized as a master bedroom.
And then, hopefully there's a marker on your screen. This white door that's here that I'm marking, what door is that?
That's the front door to the residence.
When you were on scene, what was the condition of that front door?
It was locked with a deadbolt.
Was the doorknob also locked?
I don't recall specifically, I just know that, I remember that it was deadbolted and locked.
and 7D. Those fairly accurately show still images from the video we just watched.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to strike the ID as to States Exhibit 7C and D and admit them as full. No objection.
The ID may be stricken and the Exhibit 7C and Exhibit 7D shall be considered as full exhibits.
Done with my snacks.
Putting up on the screen States Exhibit 7C, can you orient us to what we see inside of the living room?
Yes, so you're standing in the master bedroom and you're looking through the doors into the living room.
And is this the layout of the living room as it was observed on that date?
Like I said, the body had obviously been removed, so things might have been disturbed when we moved the body.
And I know you've described the area and where the body was positioned, if Ms. Naffziger was positioned.
That makes a lot of
Can
sense.
you give us a general idea of where we would expect to see her? Were she in this image?
She was positioned, if you see this pink blanket on the couch, that was wrapped around her, and she was seated here with her right leg up on the coffee table, as if she was relaxing on the couch.
How
The red
threatening.
blanket that's on the floor in States Exhibit 7C by the coffee table, is that where it was originally located?
That may have been displaced during the removal, when we removed the body.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to strike the ID from States Exhibits. What's the building? 9A through 9J.
It would have been greater if it was a dirty text, Angie. I'd have put that
No
on the
objection.
screen
The
so
ID may be
fast.
stricken with respect to Exhibits 9A through 9J inclusive, and they may be considered as full exhibits.
Can I have 1 moment, Your Honor?
Certainly.
Actually, I don't know if the entire gun was loaded.
Johnson,
I
facing
did
up
say
to
that
the
he
screen,
said
States Exhibit- Actually, let me ask you a few
he-
questions first.
pulled it back and put a bullet
With
in.
respect to States Exhibits,
But yes, in a desk, on the
are
desk.
the next photographs, are Ms. Naffziger's body visible in the next couple of images that we're about to show?
Yes.
Can you describe for us when we see her, and I'm happy to have you take a look if you want to describe it from States Exhibits, so you don't have to do it from memory. Can I see my ID? Just to track them.
Yeah.
Can you describe for us what we should expect to see?
Yes, you can see the victim on the couch with the pink blanket on her. That red blanket that is on the floor in 7C was in fact to her
Cameraman.
left, with her left arm resting on it. And her right leg is elevated and resting on the coffee table.
Placing onto the screen States Exhibit 9A. Does this image represent the positioning of Ms. Naffziger as she was when her body was located?
Yes, that's the original location that we
She'll change
found her in.
And
Tomorrow.
you've already described that the blanket, that the pink blanket is over her shoulder. She has another blanket next to her and her foot on the coffee table.
Yes, and a purple pillow behind it.
From what you observe, is Ms. Naffziger wearing any shoes on her feet?
No,
Were any shoes for an adult located near her in the living room?
I believe they were just children's slippers and children's shoes.
You had described a cell phone wallet case. Can you point that out to us?
Wait, so they say she wasn't even wearing shoes?
Behind that cell phone wallet case, what's that on the couch?
A pair of eyeglasses.
Now, behind Ms. Naffziger, almost at, I would say, the center of the photograph, there appears to be a white mark on the shelf of that built-in bookshelf. Can you describe for us what that white mark is?
Let me just get them pointed
Oh.
out, this mark right here. That's a built-in wooden shelf, and we located what appeared to be consistent with a defect from,
And when you say a defect, what do you mean?
that's just the terminology that we use for for lack of better terms, entryway of a bullet.
And moving closer in State's Exhibit 9B, we also have the imagery of Ms. Naffziger on the scene. From this angle, can you still see where that bullet defect is?
Yes, it's right here.
I know. Very rude, Pam. Very rude. I mean, we wouldn't see these anyway if they have her
And
body in them,
just
but
one more,
still.
State's Exhibit 9C, moving in closer
I don't
to
think
Ms.
she's in all
Naffziger.
of them.
Can you please describe for us what we see here?
What is consistent with a gunshot wound to the head.
And Ms. Naffziger's clothing, first of all, that pink blanket is no longer over her shoulder. Was that moved by officers during the scene?
Yes, we moved on to like the next layer of documenting, and we would move the blanket off of her to photograph.
And once the blanket was removed, what is Ms. Naffziger wearing for clothing?
She looks like she has a black sweater on, a purple shirt, and it looks like a scarf around her neck.
She doesn't even have a coat on.
State's Exhibit 9D, what are we
February.
looking at here?
New Hampshire.
That's a photo of the couch after we removed the body of the victim.
Now, with respect to the glasses that were on the sofa, on the couch, what happened to those, if you know?
I believe that we collected those as evidence.
Okay. Would they have been transported with the body?
I can't recall specifically if we made them a separate exhibit or put the glasses in the bag with the body. I can't recall specifically, but I know we collected them.
Oh, were they her glasses? Oh.
Moving to State's Exhibit 9E, we've got a yellow marker here. Can you explain for us what we're looking at?
That's the evidence marker to mark the cell phone that's on the couch.
And you've done close-ups and overalls of all of these pieces of evidence. Is that fair to say?
I didn't personally take the photos, I don't believe, I think, but yes, we documented close-ups.
So moving into State's Exhibits 9F and 9G, what are we looking at?
It's a cell phone that's contained within a wallet case.
Were the contents of that wallet case used to identify Ms. Naffziger on scene?
Yes,
And what was used specifically?
driver's license.
Like the little girl from Finding Nemo.
I want to back up so that we can take a look at the couch as a whole. Looking
Darla.
at State's Exhibit 9H, is this just a full view of the couch or the sofa as it was inside of the living room?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when we watched that video walkthrough that you did, State's Exhibit 7B, you sort of got very close to the sofa. Is there a reason why you did that?
Just documenting close-up shots of the evidence.
Was there anything on the sofa itself that you were documenting specifically?
I recall doing close-ups on the left side of the couch, around here, that I located a couple of pieces, what appeared to be consistent with a skull.
Oh,
So moving
no.
to State's Exhibit 7D, there are 2 items circled there. Can you explain for us what we're seeing?
That's what I noticed, and it consistent with skull.
Okay. So consistent with bone pieces?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Poor Caitlyn.
Looking at State's Exhibit 9, I believe we're back on I. Does this image accurately show the placement of the coffee table as it was in line with the sofa?
Yes.
And this is obviously after Ms. Naffziger's been removed.
Yes.
And that red blanket is positioned there from its original position, correct?
Yeah, it's displaced from its original position.
Now, you had discussed that when you looked at this living room, when you entered into it initially, and then when you were conducting your search for evidence, that you had observed casing inside of this location.
Yes.
Can you orient us to where we would be looking if we wanted to find where that casing was?
Yes, the casing was behind this chair on the floor, so that's the right side of the couch.
Now, I want to take a look at the rest of the living room. So this photograph states Exhibit 9J. Does that accurately show the living room as it would be viewed from the sofa or the couch?
Yes, it does.
In terms of this desk, what kinds of items were associated with the desk?
It appeared to be a computer desk, but we noted that the tower, the actual computer itself, was missing and unplugged.
Yes, because he took it with him. For whatever reason. I mean, they're a lot of money and stuff, but
Your Honor,
okay.
at this time, the state would move to strike the ID from State's Exhibits 10A through 10D
No, Tracy.
and have them admitted as evidence.
I don't think so.
The ID may be stricken with respect to 10A through 10D inclusive, and they shall be considered as full exhibits.
Let me see. It's just the way that the courtroom's set up.
Trooper Johnson, I want to go back to that little chair where you said there was a casing. So looking at State's Exhibit 10A, which should be on the screen now, can you sort of orient us to where the casing was found?
The casing's on the floor behind the child's, looks like a unicorn, on the chair, right behind here.
And if I look at this
No,
image,
Law and
there's
Crime's
a
not
door
covering it
frame that's
either.
right here where I'm illuminating in the corner of the photo. Where does that door go?
That goes to the kitchen.
And in terms of any other access point to leave this living room, where would those be located?
You could go forward, straight ahead to the master bedroom, and the front door is there.
Okay, so if I'm standing like the photo is taken, where would the doors to the master bedroom be?
To your back, behind you.
Okay, and the front entrance of the home would also be to my back and behind me?
Correct.
Okay, and the kitchen would be through this doorway here that I have marked to the right?
Correct, to the right.
No, Tracy, I don't think you're misunderstanding anything.
You had indicated
We're
earlier
understanding
that
this
the
is
shoes you
not
remembered seeing
self-defense
were
at
slippers
all.
for kids. Do you see those in
So.
this image?
Yes, they're under the pink table.
Because I agree with you.
Showing you next State's Exhibit 10B, I think it's a little fuzzy there in the background, but can you identify what this marker, the yellow marker is that I've got illuminated?
Yeah, the ALJ.
And quite frankly, with his experience, you should not have seen this as a
Moving
threat.
a little bit closer on that State's Exhibit 10C, can you tell us what we're looking
We'll
at?
see when he.
That's the fired cartridge casing.
And State's Exhibit 10D.
That's the casing, just flipped over to read the head stamp.
What's a head stamp?
The writing on the back of the casing.
And what does that tell you?
It usually tells you a brand and caliber.
Were you able to determine the brand or the caliber from this?
It was a 9mm, and I believe it says S&B on the casing.
Is that consistent with other ammunition that was found inside of the house?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they change it up a little bit tomorrow. Maybe not, but they said that a screen was facing the gallery, so I don't know why we're not zooming on that. At least that's what I thought the judge said earlier today. I said there was one at each of the desks, and then one little one facing the gallery, I thought.
So you can have a seat. No, not yet. I apologize. I misspoke. We're gonna do a couple more. At this time, Your Honor, the state would move to strike the ID from State's Exhibits 11A through and including 11O and have them marked as full. No objection.
The identification may be stricken with respect to 11A through 11O inclusive, and they shall be considered as full exhibits.
Oh, that's interesting, Angie.
Now, after the casing was recovered, you had started to indicate about that bullet defect that was in the built-in bookshelf.
Yes.
With respect to that bullet defect, was a bullet eventually recovered?
Yes, we recovered a projectile.
Okay. So a projectile, not a bullet. I apologize.
It's okay, same thing.
Can you explain the difference?
It's just the technical term for it that we utilize.
I want to go ahead and move into State's Exhibits 11A and 11B here. Can you describe for us, so 11A, fair to say, is the sofa as it was after Ms. Naffziger, as well as all the blankets and everything else were removed?
Correct, yes.
With respect to State's Exhibit 11B, can you explain to us what that yellow marker is for?
I'd have to look at my actual evidence report. I'm not sure if that is a swab or if it's a piece of skull or hair. I'd have to refresh my memory with the DSSP 20.
We're looking at the report, refresh your recollection.
Yes.
You know, I don't think one's body just falls with one leg on a coffee table, like she's just
Showing you,
sitting there.
Trooper Johnson, what I've marked
I think it's
for
very
identification
unlikely
purposes
that's what would
only at State's
happen.
Exhibit number 30, dates 106 to 108 for the record. Can you take a look at that item? Is
Yes.
that the copy of the report that you just referenced, your DSSP?
This isn't the DSSP 20, but it is part of my evidence signification report. It lists,
If you can take a look and see if that would refresh your recollection.
yes, it does.
Okay. Based on this, your review of the report, what is that marker for?
That is for swabs of the reddish-brown stain on the couch.
Thank you. If you want to just put that right there.
They may release stuff to the media after this, so maybe tonight we might get some images that we might be able to share on tomorrow's stream.
Moving next to State's Exhibit 11C, can you
Sometimes
describe
we let
to
that
us,
happen.
and specifically, I want to ask you about this area of the sofa, and I'm not sure now my device isn't. I can just have one moment.
No, babe, we're all on the same page, okay? We're all on the same page here.
So looking at State's Exhibit 11C, specifically I want to draw your attention to that white mark, the damage to the drawer. You've described that as a bullet entry.
Yes.
Okay. What else in this image, did you recover anything else from
Agreed.
this area of the built-in bookshelf?
To the left of the defect by the knob.
Especially by someone who is trained. No way.
Moving a little bit closer into that 11D, there's a marker ALJ7. Is that referencing the hair that you're describing?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna look a little bit closer. I think that's a little hard to see. So if we can move into State's Exhibit 11F, like Frank, what are we looking at here?
That's a close-up of the hair around the built-in.
And that hair was recovered?
Yes.
Moving to State's Exhibit 11G, can you describe for us the changes that we're seeing to sort of the room and what process is happening here?
So like I said before, we conduct searches in layers. So at this particular point in the documentation, we slid the couch out from the built-in, so we had access to be able to see behind the couch.
Oh, they had built-in book.
And once you had access to see behind the couch, what if anything did you
Yeah,
do?
there's one of those.
We were then able to open the drawers of the built-in.
Now, moving into State's Exhibits 11H and 11I, can you explain to us or describe to us what these white stickers represent?
They're just scale, like L-shaped stickers with scales that we utilize to mark defects.
And with respect to this defect, it looks like there's an A written on that scale.
Yes, that indicates that's the first defect that I'm noting.
Are there multiple defects associated with this recovered bullet or
Yes.
projectile?
Yes.
Moving to State's Exhibit 11J, what do we see here?
That's just the first drawer, pulled out a photo of it.
And that's the drawer that the first defect was in.
Correct, defect A.
Was the bullet recovered from this top drawer?
No.
Where was it recovered?
I believe it was the third drawer down.
So were there additional defects that you were able to identify and mark?
Yes.
Looking at State's Exhibit 11K, can you explain to us what we're looking at?
Yes, so that's a photo of inside the drawer. So A1 would be the exit from the front of the drawer, and then 2A is a re-entry of the bullet as its flight path continues.
And then using this next one, State's Exhibit 11L, what is this?
That is another defect, A3.
So A3 is a third bullet defect associated with the same bullet or
Ye-
projectile? Sorry.
Yes.
And where in relation to the first drawer, if you know, is A3?
I'm not actually sure, based on this photo, if this is the second, it should be the second drawer, but I'm not positive with just this photo.
But the bullet was, or the projectile, I apologize, was recovered in the third drawer down.
As I recall, yes.
Showing you State's Exhibit 11M, what are we seeing here?
That's a photo of the third drawer opened
Oh,
with
that's too bad.
what is the projectile.
Yeah, no, she is much.
Once this item was photographed, what,
Smaller
if
than
anything,
him.
did you do to recover it?
We packaged it and
Significantly.
secured it and transported it to the forensic lab.
And just moving it a little bit closer so we can see where that item really was, 11N. Can you describe for us the projectile?
It's a projectile,
And that's as it was recovered inside of the drawer,
yes,
marked as ALJ 8.
correct.
Thank you. Trooper Johnson, you can go ahead and have a seat.
Probably cover that.
We can do it. Go ahead and give you a minute. I had you
It's
standing
okay.
up there for a little while.
I'm getting a little raspy.
All right. Trooper Johnson, you had indicated that, and I'll try to be loud from over here, you had indicated that you had recovered the casing and recovered the projectile. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And can you describe for us the process of that recovery?
We photograph it and collect it and put it in the appropriate evidence receptacle, I guess, based on size and what it is.
And I'm going to ask you, I've provided some gloves in case you do need them, but I'm going to ask you to take a look at what I have marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 28. Can you take a look at that item and let me know if you know what it is?
Yeah.
I believe that this belongs to the casing.
Okay. Does that have a number on it consistent with the recovered item number?
I'd have to look at my report, but it says ALJ 5 on it.
Showing you again what's marked for identification only as State's Exhibit number 30. Would this assist you in identifying what that item is?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm downloading.
ALJ 5
Sure,
is
but-
a casing S&B 9x19, 21.
Was that the casing that was recovered from the floor in the first floor apartment next to the sofa?
Yes, it was.
Okay, the one behind the unicorn chair?
Yes.
Okay. If I could ask you to go ahead and take a look, open that envelope up for us.
All right. All right, sorry guys. I got some pictures of her, but I wanted to cover up the people who's in there because I don't know who they are.
And taking a look at that item, does it appear to be in the same or substantially the same condition as it was in when you recovered it?
Yes.
Or at this time, state requests that the ID be struck and State's Exhibit 28 be admitted.
Right, Tracy?
The ID may be stricken with respect to Exhibit 28, and it should be considered a full exhibit.
Put it back in there.
I'm gonna ask you to publish it in just a bit, but I figure we'll go with both items if that's okay. Gonna go ahead next and show you what I've marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 29 for this case.
Oh my gosh, hey babes. It has been a minute. Thank you. Happy memberversary.
Yes, this should be the
Hope
projectile.
you've been well, babes.
Okay, does that match in terms of the documentation on the
know you've
envelope,
been
your
super
signature on the
busy.
seal, and the assigned evidence number?
Yes.
I'd ask you to go ahead and open that up.
Let's do the other picture. There we go. Okay.
Can you even see the item?
Well, self-defense.
Yes, I can.
Okay, in looking at it, is that, what
Right.
is it?
That's the projectile recovered from the drawer.
The defense is
Is it
saying
the same or
self-defense.
substantially the same condition as it was in when it was recovered?
The
by
state
you?
is not saying.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request to strike the ID from State's Exhibit 29 and have the item admitted as full.
The ID may be stricken with respect to Exhibit 29, and it shall be considered a full exhibit.
Happy
With the court's
memberversary to
permission,
you.
I would ask Attorney Johnson to step down and allow the jury to observe the items.
Certainly.
Right, while she's doing that, because they're not saying anything, I'll real quick put up, there you go. There's her. That is Caitlyn. Look how small she is to relative size people. And that is her with Dustin. I put circles over the people and their kid's face. But see, she is significantly size different wise than Dustin. So, oh, Pam, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you so much, babe. I'm not sure who it went to, but congratulations. Whoever just got a gifted membership from Pam. Welcome to the family. Oh yeah, he's so cooked. I can't wait to hear what this guy has to say. It's not looking great for him. Ugh, such a shame. Oh yeah, his arrest photo too makes him look like he's a freaking crazy person.
Absolutely. You can show them the next item, State's 29.
Good to know. That's right. Everyone be like Pilola's mom and hit the like button if you haven't yet. Let's everybody know that we're live and that this is where all the fun is happening today. What are you doing, Keto? I will say that this is probably one of the most ridiculous self-defense claims I've read about. I mean, that's crazy. Yum. Looked like last night's roadkill.
Okay.
Oh boy. That was a quick zoom.
Attorney Kenny? Attorney Kenny?
Good
Attorney Kenny?
afternoon.
Oh, defense attorney.
Approach.
Oh, no. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going as fast as I can. Got it. Getting better. That's horrific white noise in case anybody's just joining us. Ugh. And so that's Dustin. While they're talking again, I'll pull these back on stage so you can have a better look at those. In the middle there is Caitlyn. Very tiny person. This is her next to That's Dustin, I believe, holding one of their daughters. I don't know which. Not a very big person.
Incident itself.
No,
So you did not see what happened.
correct,
You didn't see what Caitlyn was doing, right?
correct,
You didn't see what Kyle was doing, right?
correct,
You didn't see what the defendant Dustin was doing.
correct,
You didn't hear what Caitlyn said, right?
correct,
You didn't hear what Dustin said, correct?
yes,
You don't have any idea what actually happened that night.
correct.
No more questions, thank you.
Those are pretty basic ass questions. I mean, they're doing their job, but like, yeah, no.
You
duh.
redirect?
No questions.
Okay. Can Trooper Johnson be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, who's up next?
And again, please.
Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think they were gonna sneak in another one. Why couldn't we just talked about this before? That'd been more efficient, but okay. All right, we'll see what they're talking about. Time is it's too early for a mid-afternoon break, sir. Yeah, if anyone's confused about this case, it's because the self-defense claim is it's not great. It's not great at all. At all. Mm, you know. So I mean, we learned that, she had a blanket wrapped around her. She wasn't wearing shoes, right? I think so. Either way. And her leg is propped up on a coffee table. I mean, I'm sorry, but if she was up and going towards Dustin, well then, okay, but that clearly is not how that works.
Conclude there for the day. I know that some days we may go all the way till 4 o'clock, but we are going to conclude there for today. I just conferred with counsel. We'll be ready to start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. As I've said all along, please do not discuss any aspect of the case or the evidence with your fellow jurors, including if you see any jurors discussing the case. I would ask that you please report that to
You might have
a
stuff to
court
argue
security
about.
officer
We'll
or
see.
bailiff. I want to state that I recognize that some of the photos may be difficult to look at. I encourage you, regardless of that, again, do not discuss any aspect of the evidence or any part of the case with any of the fellow jurors during any of the breaks or even during the process of the trial itself. Again, as I've said, there is some media coverage with respect to this matter. I encourage you to not only, I instruct you to not only avoid such media coverage, but to try to do everything you can to avoid even inadvertent exposure to that. And again, please conduct no research whatsoever yourself about any matter that you hear about in this case or any of the witnesses or any of the evidence. Please conduct no research whatsoever. And again, I'm sure you will follow my instructions to make sure that this is a fair and a trial that consists with the law on such matters. Okay, so we'll start at 9 o'clock. That's it for the day. Thank you very much. By the way, that wasn't an air exchange. I do think that was some much needed rain that we heard on the rooftop. So anyway,
Okay.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your service. We'll reconvene at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
An
All
air
rise for the jury.
exchange. Okay. Well, we'll see. The lawyers could be arguing matters without the jury around. Very good chance of that. Steve. His excuse, Pam, is that it was self-defense because she was kidnapping the children. Mind you, she had no vehicle. She would have had to walk. Her
Okay,
family
thank you.
still
Please
lives
be
kind
seated.
of far away.
And counsel, about 10-minute break and we can reconvene to discuss some matters.
See?
Is that okay? Okay, all right. Court will be in recess.
All right, so we're going to hear them do some lawyer arguments in a couple minutes. So we'll stick around for those because that's where we kind of learn more about. I'm imagining they're arguing. If I remember right, they had filed some motions where they wanted the Amber Alert stuff thrown out And oh, the other thing that they wanted thrown out is the state had made a transcript of Dustin's interview with the police after he was arrested. And the defense does not want there to be a transcript, which in most cases I've watched myself, they usually don't allow transcripts for videos like that, no matter how hard they are to hear. Some do, but defense usually wins that point if they bring it up. So um, that's probably what they're going to be talking about. Who knows what else they'll be talking about, though? But enough that they're like, well, I guess we're going to stop at 2:30. We also learned that court stops at 4 every day. So that's good to know. I appreciate that. But yeah, we'll stick around and see what they have to say here. Called it they're fighting over something. Usually that's what occurs. I'm still weird. It's still weird to me that they're doing that now, but okay. All right. Maybe their text messages will explain a lot. I mean, it's gonna have to be something really momentous for me to get away from this. This is in no way, shape, or form self-defense, in my opinion. So they're really going to have to bring some points. But here's the thing, too: they haven't mentioned custody. All right, who actually has custody of the children? Because here's the thing: if we know that it's an unwed mother state, meaning that we know that at one point in time, if not during this time, Caitlyn had 100% sole custody of these kids. It's not kidnapping, right? Like, it's not kidnapping if you're the one that has custody of them, you know? Also, he never called the police. Where was she going to take a baby who's one in a car seat and a 4-year-old? How far is she going to get down the road kidnapping those kids? Get out of here. I don't believe it for 1 second. I mean, she had a blanket on, lounging on the couch when he shot her. Apparently, I mean, we didn't get to see the photos ourselves, but based on what they said, it's not like she was coming after him or physically hurting him or anything like that. So I just, so far, it's a big fat nope. Nope. What? Bar sense and bouncing. It's suggestive to have the transcript. That it is, yes. That's why they usually don't allow it. Or I should say they will allow the defense to argue over why they shouldn't allow it. And usually they win that argument because it's a fair argument, right? Everything the jury has to decide is with their own eyes and ears, and they decide what they want to consider evidence and what they don't. So it makes sense that the jury wouldn't be given a transcript. However, there sometimes are transcripts. Like, for example, in the Adelson case, we had lots of transcripts done for those phone calls and all of that. But then if you go to the Wagner, George Wagner, the fourth trial here in Ohio a few years ago, there were no transcripts allowed for the recorded wire tap calls and on that in the truck. And let me tell you what, those people were real hard to understand. They got that Appalachia Southern Ohio accent, and you couldn't tell shit what they were saying. It was awful, but they weren't allowed to have transcripts. So it just kind of like depends, I guess. But I can see the argument pretty well. Angie said, was holding the child with her foot, pushing herself back using the coffee table or something to back away from him as he was trying to pull the girl away from her. I think that's what defense claimed. I mean, yeah, he also ripped the child out from her. This is what his attorney said, he said in the interview. So, I mean, we're definitely going to hear his police interview. Whether or not we see it, that's a different story. The audio better be, I'm going to be so annoyed. if she pulled the trigger, that would be closer to self-defense, not him. I mean, this is just, even if, like, as I said earlier, even if it is a kidnapping, kidnapping is not a death sentence. It's not, at all. So that's that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for me. Again, she didn't break anything. He didn't have any wounds on him. As far as we know, the children didn't either. He said that she was hurting Yulin, but what does that mean? So I don't know. Oh, I see, Michael. The soccer chant. They say the same thing every time, but each time you read a different phrase, and all 10 times it sounds like what you are reading. Correct. Yeah, I didn't get the soccer chant thing, but have you ever seen those like bad lip reading videos on YouTube? I forget who does them. It's been a very long time, but they would just voice over what somebody was saying with not what they were saying. But that's just how our brains work. We'll be like, oh, well, you know what? That's close enough. That makes sense to what they could possibly say. That is quite a shiny head in front of that seal there. It's glaring. At least I hope it's a head. Oh my. Oh yeah, this guy's gonna have to take the stand, and I'm sorry. I don't understand how it escalated to this point, how he felt justified in doing this. He had time to go even get a gun, load a bullet in it. Like, there are so many actions you need to take in between, let alone you've also been trained. You have to hold people to a higher standard that have been trained with firearms and who to shoot, who not to shoot, things like that. And when you have been trained that way, that bar, it raises high for a good reason, right? I said earlier, Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. So he's up against an even higher mountain because of his Marine background, you know? Mm, and listen, if that's enough, if what we know so far was enough for him to pull out a gun and shoot the mother of his child, ooh, yikes. Yikes indeed. PTSD or not. Yikes. YouTube. Famous bald head. Right? How big is Rhode Island? Can't be that big. So I don't know. You're not doing great. I'll tell you that. So sorry for the yawns, guys. I'm sorry. Doing my best over here. I wish they would say how many days. Maybe they will in open court when they come back to argue. Maybe they'll, be like, so how many days are we going to do this? That would be great to know. I mean, if this was their day one with openings and three witnesses, and they ended at 2:30, I don't think it's going to last very long. So, I mean, they have like, oh my gosh, how many people in law enforcement do they have? They have so many. Because they have the New Hampshire State Police, which is like a ton of people. The Berlin Police Department, which is also a ton of people. The Coos County Department of Corrections. Must be the jail. Other Coos County, that's a funny name. Other sheriff's office. They got a police forensic lady, chief medical examiner, and then some civilian witnesses that I don't think. Cheshire County. Oh my gosh, there's so many counties involved here. Wonder how many counties New Hampshire has. You know what? I'll give you guys a taste of Llama Learns About. while we're waiting. It's how we do things, right? What do we want to know? We want to know about New Hampshire. Hold on a second. No land of lakes with the seal, but we can go with Master and Commander. That's true. It's not as good as Florida's Land of Lakes. That's pretty good. It's kind of maybe that's the thing that's making the ticking noise. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, drive me crazy. Pam said, I looked over the weekend for footage of the interrogation and didn't find any. After you posted you were going to cover it, I wasn't sure which case it was. Didn't find much coverage on the case. Me either. I looked all over the place and I did not find much of anything. Neither did Angie's. They're like, all right, okay. You know, that's the thing, right? Is that's how it goes with trials. Ones that are hardly covered with news gets televised while other ones don't. So, all right. Let's see. New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Hampshire. How do they say it? Oh, I thought we were in Rhode Island for some reason. Like, no, of course we're not. Okay. Here we go. We will. Let's learn about New Hampshire for a while. I got them. Make sure that's unmuted, though. I got it unmuted, but they're not in right now. All right. A lot of you know stuff about New Hampshire because I don't. Oh, no, I think it was Vermont was its own country at one time, like named Vermont. Let's see. Their motto is live free or die. Okay, that checks out. That makes sense. Anthem, Old New Hampshire. Okay. Interesting. Before statehood, they were the province of New Hampshire. The capital, Concord, or as they say, Concord. At least that's how the attorneys said it. My dad's side from the family is from New Hampshire. Settled there from England on the second trip of the Mayflower. Oh, well, look at that. What did we learn the other day on Llama Learns that the Mayflower brought over as well? Oh, what was it? Not just the smallpox. It was something else. Oh, dandelions. That's what it was. Because did you know that dandelions are not native to the North Americas? Nope. Oh, hold on. We're back. Well, that's as far as we got.
Okay, back on the record, 214-2024 CR 28. Just a few housekeeping matters. States filed a motion to reconsider. Can I expect an objection from defense?
Judge, we're prepared to argue it now. It doesn't state any issues of fact or law that the court overlooked. It simply reiterates and reinterprets the transcript differently from how the court interprets it. But I don't think that's a basis for the court to reconsider its decision. I think that the case originally cited by the state, Commonwealth versus Castano, talks about that evidence can be admissible if there can be inferences made that the evidence was somehow known to the defendant in some capacity. And in Castano, the inferences include the defendant being aware of the victim's desire to end the relationship because she obtained a roommate release form from her landlord, so completely separate from the defendant, and because there was a suitcase on the floor. And here, as the courts noted, there's numerous references to Mr. Duren asking, what is the plan? What is the plan? What's going on? To Ms. Naffziger telling him some portion of the plan. I'm going to take the kids, take them back to Minnesota without your permission. And so I think that there's far more than enough evidence for the court to find that it's admissible for that purpose. And the court has made that finding. The state has not said anything new. It simply interprets the evidence differently. And a different interpretation of the evidence is not grounds to reconsider. I think as the court referenced earlier during the objection during opening, the other purpose for which this is admissible is 8033 as Ms. Naffziger's plan. And what is relevant is what both people in that apartment were doing, saying,
how they were behaving. That is relevant to whether or not Mr. Duren reasonably believed that one of the circumstances outlined in the defense of other statute was present. And so under both of those bases, the evidence is admissible, the court's ruling should stand. I'll also note that I think it would be very unfairly prejudicial to the defense were the court to reconsider its motion now, or its order now, after we've already delivered an opening in reliance on the court's ruling. The state had the opportunity to ask to speak to the court before the jury was called this morning, and it did not do that. So I think all proofs favorable require that the evidence be admissible. It's admissible under two separate theories. The state has not produced any areas of fact or law that the court has misapprehended. It's simply interpreting evidence differently, and ultimately it'll be up to the jury to decide how to interpret the evidence. So the court should deny the state's motion to reconsider.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, we're asking the court, obviously, to reconsider the court's ruling. We do believe that the court respectfully has misapprehended an issue of fact in the sense that it has misinterpreted the relevant portions of the transcript. The court referenced in its order pages 50 to 57, and what the state attempted to do in its pleading was to go through those pages as closely as possible. And I submit that if the court does that again, the court will see that although there are several references to a plan or planning or questions along the lines of what's the plan, all of those in context very clearly refer to the defendant questioning Ms. Naffziger about when she was going to leave. What's the plan? When are you leaving? When is Brenda going to pick you up? This is not what we planned for. Those are the types of statements that he is making, and that is the context of any references to a plan. It is certainly true that according to the defendant and statements that he made, he told police he learned from Caitlyn that night that she said something along the lines of, "I'm going to call the police and have the kids taken away from you." We are not disputing that, but that is a completely separate plan, so to speak, than the plan involving the two witnesses that are the subject of this motion. If we look at the plan involving those two witnesses, I believe it's uncontested that Ms. Plumondon will testify that that plan was a secret. The entire object of that plan was to conceal it from the defendant, because if they didn't, it wouldn't work. The plan was to assist Ms. Naffziger in stealing away with the children sometime in the early morning hours while the defendant was asleep. There is no reason that anyone involved in that plan, if they wanted it to succeed, would tell the defendant about that plan. Certainly not Ms. Plumondon or Ms. Naffziger. Ms. Plumondon's testimony, I think we all agree, will establish she never spoke with the defendant. And as we heard in the opening statement today from defense, I don't believe they're contesting that either, because according to the opening, by the time the defendant got outside and saw Caitlyn there with her bags, Ms. Plumondon was already gone. So there's literally no opportunity for them to speak. In the defendant's statement, he said he didn't have Brenda's number. He wanted to call her to facilitate Caitlyn leaving, but he could not because he didn't have her contact information. So I think we can all agree there was no means of communication. The evidence will show that there was no communication between Ms. Plumondon or Ms. Spurgeon and the defendant, so the plan did not get communicated to him that way. It seems that the theory that the defense is operating under is that to make this defense relevant, the defendant had some inkling. He knew that there was a plan. They're going to claim that he said, or he thought, well, I don't know the specifics, but something is up. And that is not relevant for a justification defense. The defendant, if he is going to successfully pursue that and successfully argue it, at least to the level of obtaining a jury instruction by the sum modicum standard, has to present some evidence that he reasonably believed that a kidnapping was taking place or about to take place. That Ms. Naffziger was conducting a kidnapping or about to. The knowledge that there is a kidnapping implied is inherent there, and it's necessary. If the defendant merely thought, she's up to something, I don't know what it is, that is not enough.
But he's just not thinking that, he's saying that.
He is saying, what's the plan? When are you leaving? When is Brenda coming to get you? I don't believe there's any indication in the transcript or anywhere else that he's saying, are you doing something? What's your plan with Brenda? I think that is a completely different context that's just not present there. So that kidnapping has to be there. He has to know specifically that there is a plan to kidnap these people. And all the references to some suspicion or some plan, there is no reference to Ms. Plumondon, and that kind of gets to the crux of it. The plan involves her. She's a key part of the plan. She's going to come up to Berlin and aid Ms. Naffziger. She is the only lifeline and the only transportation. He doesn't mention her at all. And in fact, in his statement, he says, I was trying to call her. I wanted to call her, but I couldn't. And I think had Ms. Naffziger told him about this plan, or if he had learned of it from her in that way, why would he call that person? There makes no sense that he would do that. So I think
A lot of things don't make sense.
The crux of our motion is that a reading of that transcript and all the evidence and taking into account everything that we know and we expect to be evidence here in the trial will establish that the defendant did not know about that plan, and therefore it cannot be relevant for his state of mind. I know counsel is arguing that it is relevant for Ms. Naffziger's state of mind. We've covered that, so I won't belabor the point, but when we were talking about a justification defense, we were talking about what the defendant knew and what was in his head, and does it explain or justify what he did. If he didn't know about the plan, then logically, that he cannot have acted because of the plan. He cannot have killed Caitlyn because he thought she was going to kidnap his children as part of a plan with Ms. Plumondon. He may have certainly done so, and I think the evidence would support an inference or a conclusion that Mr. Duren killed Ms. Naffziger because she thought she was going to take his children away because that's what she told him. But that was by calling the police and taking a very different route. That is overt. That is through some sort of legal process where she's saying, I'm going to call the police, have you arrested, say something that will result in the children being taken away. That is a completely different track. That does not put into his head anything about Ms. Plumondon, or certainly anything that would should enable him to now argue, oh, I killed her because I thought she was going to kidnap my kids, specifically through this plan with taking kids away early in the morning. There has to be some indicator that he did that, and we just think it's not there, and that's why we filed the motion, Your Honor. So we respectfully submit that a reading of that transcript, while it certainly contains references to plans and planning, contains no references to the plan at issue here, and that's the one that matters.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Anything further?
Just briefly a quote from the case cited by the state in its motion. Quote, there need not be direct evidence that the defendant learned of the victim's state of mind so long as the jury reasonably could have inferred that he or she did learn from it. The jury's not required to make this inference, but the fact that they permissibly could have means that it's permissible to admit the statements. The court should not disturb its ruling. There are clearly reasonable minds can interpret this transcript in multiple different ways, and that in and of itself is enough to allow it to go to the jury. So the jury, as the finders of fact, can interpret it how they will.
I don't think that's going to change anybody's opinion, but okay.
Prior hearings on this issue.
Okay. I want to make sure to give counsel the opportunity to make any additional arguments with respect to the motion to reconsider. So I will. I also understand the practical objections raised by defendant counsel relative to considering the motion at this point in the proceeding. I will give you a specific ruling on the motion to reconsider tomorrow if you're ready with that objection. You're satisfied with the objection, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and you're satisfied with the argument on that motion?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no, I'll return to issue the order. I'm going to read that pages 50 to 57 of the transcript. I'll read it for the 101st time tonight. I'll reread it again for the 101st time, and I will issue an order that's likely going to be consistent with my prior order. Just to be clear, but I'll put a little bit more on the record for purposes of any issues that need to be covered. Anything further on that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, next, do we have an agenda for tomorrow? If we need to approach, we can do that, but
No.
the jury was attentive today. I know we've asked them to set aside a couple weeks out of their lives and out of their work.
Oh.
And I'm certainly okay with the fact that we ended early today, but I want to make sure that we're filling the day as much as possible because we're asking them to set aside time out of their life. So I just want to make sure we have a nice full day tomorrow, if that's possible.
So, Your Honor, we do anticipate that we will have a full day tomorrow. That will lead us potentially to an issue depending on how quickly we move The medical examiner in this case is not available until the 23rd, which is Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning. He is, I'm not sure if he's at a training, or I don't know, he's out of state. He's returning at 5 o'clock, I believe, on the 22nd. He has agreed to be immediately getting back into his car and driving up here to be available for the 23rd at 9 a.m., which is also immediately prior to testimony he has to do via WebEx for another case. So no matter where we are in terms of tomorrow, the state will be running into, we anticipate, a scheduling issue, so we wanted to flag that for the court's attention.
Certainly, certainly, and that's,
Thursday.
thank you, number one, thank you. Number two, as I said, I have no issue with the fact that we ended early today, but I want to make sure we have a nice full day tomorrow so that the jury understands that why we're asking them to take this much time out of their life. So it sounds like we've got a full day tomorrow?
We believe so.
There no
Rough-
court Wednesday.
Roughly, okay.
Tell us more, please. What about Wednesday? What about Wednesday, Rue? Ugh. Or we could just talk about it. All right, it's just scheduling. I don't see why we can't all know. We didn't celebrate. How is this supposed to take a couple of weeks? I don't know. Well, I mean, all right, fine. I suppose. I mean, they're concerned that. So here's why I don't think it's going to take a couple of weeks, based on exactly what the state just said, was that the medical examiner is not available until Thursday, 9 a.m. Right? That's the 23rd. Just make sure my math's right. Yes, that's Thursday. Now, if you saw their witness list, I can show you the witness list right now. Look at this. Hold on. Here's the witness list for the state. All right, that's just the state. You see how many names are on there? Okay. That's a lot. And why would they be concerned if they had all of these witnesses going up until Thursday? That leads me to think that perhaps they don't plan on calling very much, and then if the medical examiner could have made it early, that's probably who they're going to wrap up with. So that's very interesting, because otherwise it's really no big concern. Look at all those names I just showed you. They have plenty of people that they could call. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to take a couple of weeks. Even if they said so, I don't think so. So, yes, I know. We need to plan. They never take our scheduling into account. So rude. Just kidding. Of course, maybe they don't have court Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't, but you know. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't think they were going to call all the law enforcement either. It's all law enforcement except for like 6 whole people. That's why I was like, I don't think it's going to be that long. But and the defense literally has just 5 witnesses. Roger Pittman, an MD. I'm assuming that's to probably talk about PTSD. Arthur Boutin, I don't know who that is. Brenda Plamondon. I believe that's Aunt Brenda, who Aunt Brenda is not on the state witness list, which is interesting. I don't know why Brenda wouldn't be on the list. But, and then there's Shannon Spurgeon, don't know who that is, and Catherine Gann. I don't know how to say that. Plus the defendant himself. So I guess maybe it'll probably go into early next week at the latest, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think you really need to call a whole lot of people in this case. No. I mean, even the medical examiner is like, he wouldn't be on the stand for that long because there's not really much to examine. It's pretty straightforward. So, and she said, surprised we didn't get the 911 call today since his dad was already on the stand. I know, right? I thought we would have gotten that too. Thought that was really the whole point of calling the dad, was to get the 911, but I don't know. Maybe they have a 911 person on there, but I don't know. Did he call or his mother? I'm under the impression that Dustin called his mom, who then told her husband, and then the husband called police in New Hampshire. So I think that that's how, I don't know if he called 911 or he just called the police. And I'm going to go with probably the second one. So maybe there isn't a 911 call. If he did non-emergency to just the police, there may not be one. I don't know. We'll have to see. All I know is good luck, bro. Good luck trying to get up there and convince me that this was a threat. I mean, even if she had a plan, all right, even if she had a plan that she was going to take the kids, right? And he thought that there was a plan. She was conspiring. She was going to kidnap the girls before this all happened. Why didn't you call the police then? I mean, why wouldn't you? Ahead of time. Like, hey, she said they were going to call police. Why didn't he make that call himself?
Okay, so Attorney Durand, I will look at those two motions relative to the items that you inquired about. I'll get rulings to you on those quickly, and to the defense, obviously.
Can we say more about scheduling an open court, please, and thank you?
And Attorney Kettles, with respect to the motion you filed about the status of Mr. Duren, is that being worked on?
As far as we know, Your Honor, it should be settled, but we'll report back tomorrow morning if it's not.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, so look forward to a full day tomorrow. Anything further, counsel, from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Attorney Kettles or Kenny? Okay, all right, thank you. Matter concluded. See you tomorrow.
All right. Well, that concludes court today, I guess. That's nice. There we go. All done there. Ooh, well, that's great. I'm torn between Flava Flav or Vanilla Ice. Oh, wow. Did he call or his mother? Oh, I get it now. I get the song choices and what comment that was referencing. So I guess we're going to have a full day tomorrow. Wednesday, I don't know. They're not talking about Wednesday, which is interesting. I don't even know if there is court in Wednesday. I remember when we were doing Karen Reed, Massachusetts had some like holidays they had off that were like local specific. So I don't know if maybe New Hampshire has something like that as well, because I don't know of any like actual holiday on the 22nd, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. But either way, we will have a full day tomorrow. So make sure you bring all your snacks, all of them, all the best ones, because I'm going to ask you guys about them. And yeah, I guess we'll be here tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m. I might be a few minutes late, but I will be here before 9, I promise. Other than that, that's really all I got for today. I think we've talked about it extensively at this point. I don't know what else to add except for like, oh, good luck, bro. Good luck. Yikes. And if Angie or myself or any of the other staff happen to find any exhibits publicly, and we might, if we find anything, we'll definitely share with you guys, as long as they're, appropriate pictures, of course. So we will keep our eyes out. But I want to say thank you to everyone that's joined today, all of our new viewers. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or drop an episode. We have lots of stuff going on this channel. So I will see you all. Oh, and replay crew, I appreciate you too. So I will see you all tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. And until next time, go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.